The dark tarts, the dark thoughts, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing. That's what I do. Be grateful for whoever comes into your life, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Get it? Why nurse your young every day? It's a discussion that has been going on for years, and we're going to discuss it. Let's go. Why nurse don't support? Incidentally, that poem I found online. So if you want to read short poems, I've been getting into it lately. So I found that poem. So it's raining today, raining real hard. And my dog doesn't like to go out in the rain. But I love the rain. And I'm off from work. And this is the time that I love to hear the rain, where you just be in bed late, but I'm up, making a video, just taking in the rain. My favorite time of the year, when it's just raining and I'm home. But if I'm working, I don't want it to rain, because I don't like driving in the rain. I like singing in the rain. Anyway, just being a little silly. Forgive me. We want to think that nurses would care about each other, don't we? I want to tell you that nursing is not a fairy tale career. We dreamed when we was little kids that we want to be a nurse, playing with our dolls, but this is the real world. Once you get out of nursing school, the reality sets in. And I think nursing school try to give you example. The way they treat you is beyond what you're going to experience as a nurse on the unit. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be kumbaya or I'm working with my peers together. We're going to do this and we're happy ever after. There's going to be times when there's conflict. There's going to be times when you're dealing with this difficult nurse. They're human. We're all human. Outside of this nursing unit, they have different beliefs. They come in with different culture. Nurses from all over. Philippines, you have nurses, European nurses, Ethiopian nurses, African American nurses, African nurses. So you're dealing Indian nurses, you're dealing with all kinds of cultural women who have experienced situation in their life, and they bring it to work. So it's not the environment is extremely hostile at times, and I'm telling you the facts. Nurses, you take care of people who feel you are super nurse. They want you to become super nurse. Administrators forget if they're nursing. If they're a nurse and they're a leader, they'll forget how you feel, the struggles. They seems to forget, in my eyes, they seems to forget the days when they were on the floor and it was short and you had to struggle. I had to make do with not having band-aids or getting very creative to survive, and dealing with difficult coworker, to me, is extra burden on me. and I'm pretty sure on other nurses. I am not a super nurse, and I can never be. So when administrator expect you to do more than 100%, you thinking you're doing 100%, but they don't see it that way. The one time you make a mistake, they come down hard. Looks like a storm is coming. Oh no. But I'm in the house. I'm happy. You just cannot live up to the expectation that these administration plays or expect you to live up to. It's impossible. It's possible to do the best you can. And if you're a caring nurse, you will get stressed out, burned out, um, possible get depressed. Every day you're thrown into an environment that is filled with women. For some people, they might love that. Depending on what's going on at home, they are angry, they're tired, they're mean-spirited, drama-filled, and I'm saying drama beyond drama. High school drama, petty drama, things that you don't even want to deal with. You have a lot going on in your life. You don't need to come to work and have to deal with it. But it happens in nursing. Trying to, in between talking to you and cooking Sunday dinner. Anyway, guys, the environment is hostile. No pass for guys, male nurses. They tend to be somewhat arrogant, narcissistic. They think they are entitled at times, and they're favored. And I'm speaking the truth. Anyone want to dispute can leave a comment, and I'm pretty sure they will. They're entitled. They feel entitled. And management love the male nurse for some reason. I'll give them credit for one thing. They're able to tune out the drama. That's what they can soften some of the ladies at times. They're a good, negotiator. Their tolerance for the drama is better because I guess male can stay out of it. And they do just that. I don't think when I hear about why nurses eat their young every day, nurses should try and support each other. Nurses don't support each other. It's not about being a new grad nurse. It's a new nurse coming into the facility that's considered a new nurse. It's nurse on a whole, I would say. So I don't think it's a new grad nurse problem. If you're a new nurse to the facility, you'll be privileged to the hostility, trust me. The male nurse appear to just tune things out. They're good at that. And so they're treated differently. And I like working with them, regardless of how entitled they are. I like working with them. They're more favored by staff. Some don't, but the majority of ones that I see, administration take a liking to them because they seem to get away with a lot more than the female nurses. Angry nurse, oh my goodness, oh my God. When you deal with those type of nurse, and I'm saying I understand why they're angry. Who thinks it's okay to bully you? They think it's okay. You are seen as the weakling. You don't attack back. Most nurses, we care a lot. And that can easily worn us out. Always, you can be the type of nurse that's always get dumped on because you don't speak up. You clean up other nurses' mess. You go above and beyond for the administrator, for patients who the most, who are the most demanding, ungrateful human being. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but that's how they treat us as a nurse. They treat me. If you want to, if you want to get technical, and I'm speaking from my experience, they're never satisfied. This feeling of ungratefulness, it can make you feel empty, stressful, and sometimes very sad. I'm like, when you think you did enough and you went, I've been in there with you for hours, I can't get to my other patient. And I was just there, and I was just there, and I jump at everything you wanted. And you turn around and told administration that the nurse, Miss Foster, haven't been in my room all night. Try to get the nurse fired. That's how patients are sometimes. They are very ungrateful. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, no matter how caring you are, it's never enough. And some people, African American, might take it as racism. They just don't like you, and you feel so worn out. And but I'm pretty sure Caucasian nurses feel the same way too. They give in. They just give, and it's never enough. You don't know what to do sometimes for your patient, and you did all. You gave them all your meds, and they still want blood. So it can be very stressful if you have patients like that. And it's not every day. Sometimes it's so rewarding to hear a patient say thank you. If you have a patient that is a nurse, they can be less understanding too. And as a matter of fact, they're more demanding. They're more demanding. And they know what goes on, that I'm not sitting at the desk. I can't get to you right away. I will try to get to you, but I can't stay in the room and talk long. And to me, being a nurse and a sick nurse is, they're more demanding. I happen to be the nurse when I come in and I'm a patient. I don't let them know, but if it leak out that I'm a nurse and they don't come, I'm in the matter of fact, I'm not stressing about pain pill every 1 minute because I don't like a lot of pain pills. Some nurses, when they're patient, they don't like a lot of pain medication. So I like to remain low key. I don't want them to know that I'm a nurse. I don't want any special treatment, but they'll throw it up in your face. I know I'm a nurse. I should get this medication. That's how they treat you when they're a patient. So to me, maybe I forgive them because maybe it's because they're sick. But when you work in an environment, you should be a little understanding. Like I said, on the unit, the environment can become hostile when you're dealing with nurses fighting for charge position because, being a charge nurse, you get an extra money. Some nurse fight who's going to orient the new nurse because that's extra money. I'm speaking the truth. Some people doing it because it's extra money on their paycheck, and it never worked. The preceptor with the new nurse, it never worked because if they're doing it, when you're doing something just for the money, it just don't work. Verbally shaming each other, and that can cause a new and old nurse to feel worthless and angry. And when you deal with this environment every day, not getting support from your own peer, your own nurse, and I guess they call it nurse eat their young, you become depressed. Sad and depression sits in, because if you're the type of nurse that's timid, and I'll tell you, you start out being timid, but once you get in nursing, you're not timid anymore. You are able to speak up and get your confidence, because if you don't have your bearings, if you don't have confidence within yourself to stand up and say, this is wrong, I'm not going to do this, or never say, I'm not going to do that. A lady Another nurse told me that a while back because I used to do that. I'm not going to do this and then I get in trouble. Just say okay. And that's what I do now. Okay. Nurses should care about each other, but nurses don't. They want you to care when their family is, I'm sad to say, they want you to care when their family's dying, and the staff should take up money, and they wonder why no one ever give towards that particular nurse who's always chewing you out, who's always shaming you, who's always threatening you. That type of nurse is not very supportive. I'll tell you an incident. I had a nurse that was, I'm the charge nurse and I'm not going to do that much attitude. I'm just here to be in charge. I mean, you do all the meds, Patrice, and I do the paperwork. But when there's a lot of admission, then you want to call me and for me to jump in and do it. And I said, like the nurse back in the days who said, Patrice, stop saying you're not going to do nothing. That's why you stay in the office. And so she said, all you got to say is okay. And that's what I said. Okay. You want me to do it? Okay. Okay. I was the okay nurse. And I am still the okay nurse. Sometimes this little mouth of mine get me in a lot of trouble. When I just can't take it no more, it just build up. I have to speak up. So anyway, so she wanted me to do all the meds, and I said, and I was just watching her, and 8 hours, because we work 12 hours. I see her every time I look. She's sitting in the break room. She has one admission she was doing, and I think it took her 8 hours. And I went on, and she did all my meds, and I helped the techs on the floor, and I did everything that I believe the charge nurse, the regular nurse, or any other nurse should have done. You have to, if you're a charge nurse, you can help out on the floor. But her motto is, I'm the charge nurse. Charge nurse don't help the techs. They have to find help themselves. So when you're dealing with nurses like that, she's the type of nurse that comes in and negative, just negative. So this particular day, one of the techs were having a little difficulty, or they were short on the floor. So I went out and helped them. And her message to the tech, because I was in the back and I could hear her say, well, she can't help you. She's an RN. You need to go find somebody. She need to come back and do her work. Blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I said, I'm not going to let this negative biatch get on my nerves today. We both are RN. As a matter of fact, she ain't got her BSN yet. If you want to get technical, I have my bachelor. I have more experience, and all she do is do more talking. She looked good. And when I say look good, I don't mean attractive. She had her makeups, lipstick, and everything. Better than most nurses when you come to work. You don't have no lipstick, your nails done. You look so rested. We look all tired. But she looked rested all the time. Hair done. And sitting and just don't do nothing. And so I said, she came back there. I was helping the tech, and she came, what are you doing? I wanted to say, what do you think I'm doing? My nails, my lips, trying to look cute. But I was nice. I'm helping the tech. Is it okay with you? She said, no, you need to come back and do all your work. You got admission and meds. Well, meds, I can give my meds at 8 o'clock, I said. So I said, well, what are you going to do? See what I mean? That mouth of mine couldn't keep shut. And I'm new at that job, and I like, God, I'm going to lose this job today. So I said, what you going to do? Do you want to come back and help her? Oh, no, I can't help her. I said, okay. So I said, you know what? Blah, blah, blah. negative sister. You come in, okay, you want to be the charge nurse, you the charge nurse, but you're not a team player, I said to her. Whoa! Did I touch a chord? Yes, I did. I said, you ain't no team player. You a team destroyer. You don't help us. Their own text on the floor, you can't help them. That's what nursing before we had text. Nurses had to do everything by themselves. And now you think you're so cute, your nails can't touch nothing. I wasn't angry at that time. And that's what I told her. She a team destroyer. She need to get off the floor. Because that's all I heard. This and that. And I'm not. And so what she did next, she said, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to go to management. Said, there you go. There you go, girlfriend. You nothing but a snitch. Always running everything. You can't deal with the nurses. You can't talk to me like a lady. You're going to run to management. Next thing I know, someone came back. Miss Patrice, what you did? I said, what I did? I didn't do anything. I'm sitting here helping the tech. And this nurse, this negative nurse, as usual, she always threatening us that we don't do this, we don't do that. She gonna run to management, and she did. And they said, oh, because she's in the room, human resources with her, and then the managers with her, and everybody else, the administrator. Okay, that's what I said. Okay, I'm sitting right here. I'm not moving. I'm not even going in there. Let her tell them about me. So I sit there and continue to help the tech, because if I didn't help her, it would be difficult. She wanted to make sure to keep the unit safe. I think she was short, so it was fear as a nurse for me to help out with the kids. So I went there and I sit down, and then one of the administrators came to me and said, what you're doing, I know you're doing the right thing. You're keeping the unit safe. And when you finish, call me. Now I already told them I don't feel that I need to be calling in the office because I didn't do anything. And I don't like when administrator or DON or nursing supervisor call me in the office, because my bags are packed and I will leave. I'll resign before you try to fire me. But in a situation like that, I felt I didn't do none, and this is a new job, so I have to set the tone. I have to do something about this. So anyway, she said, call her. I didn't call her because I was a little busy. And then she came to me, and they wanted me to, discuss what went wrong. But they already know. The word is out. I'm not the only nurse. I wasn't complaining about this nurse. I let it go. But the way she blow up, it got, and always going to management on every little thing. Like a snitch. Every little thing other people do. They're tired of her coming to them. They're tired of, I'd rather deal with the issues. I apologize. I'd rather deal with the issues at hand than to go above my peer, the nurse, because I'm a team player, 100%. I'm flexible, and the reason why I'm flexible because I get bored. Take me off the darn floor if another floor needs me. I'll go. I'll be the first one to go because I get bored easily, and I don't want to deal with the same negative staff. So I run to the next floor in a heartbeat. Let me tell you, in a heartbeat. So they don't have no issue with that with me. And I will get out if I'm working with kids. You can't just sit behind a desk and these kids see you and they want to interact. I get out there and interact with the kids. Not sit behind the desk looking over. With kids, you have to get down and talk to them on their level sometimes. And the floor usually calm. That way I get to do my work and the kids are calm. But this nurse, she just always starting chaos. And so I was like maybe the 10th or more nurse that they keep hearing about. And if they constantly hear about their nurse not doing what they're supposed to do, because this one charge nurse, they gave her that title, she said. She didn't make the rules, she told me. That's what they told her. She don't do nothing. If she keep saying that we're not doing the right, they're going to lose a lot of nurse, because I'm ready, pack my bag, ready to go when you say, if you didn't believe me, I wasn't doing anything, and you can check the camera because the camera don't lie. The camera don't lie. Well, anyway, so that's what you deal with some of the people there. I tried to be kind. I tried to be to be the kind of nurse that support the team. I really am. I don't mind floating like others do, you know. So it can be something else. If I'm always doing it on the and talking about the nurse, the same nurse telling me she's a charge nurse and she's only going to do this much, bullying me into doing her work while she's sitting in the back. That's not fair. So now my favorite word is I'm okay. You okay? I'm sorry about the phone. It just won't stop. Anyway, that's why I say I'm okay. So that's the type of nurse that I think if she had to do medication, she would have a lot of problems. So there is no support. But you know what? My advice is you're going to meet those type of people. You're going to meet the type of people the type of woman nurse, and let me not single out women, the type of nurse, they have a lot of issues, a lot of anger at home, and they don't know how to separate the home life, so when they walk in the door, they're taking it out on you. I think that's what's happening. They're so miserable. Very miserable. They don't like when you're happy and laughing. If I'm playing with the kids or doing something, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. They don't like when you look better, when you get a new position. They get jealous. So those type of nurses, I don't know how to avoid them. You just gotta have the mindset that you're here to do a good job. And you do the best that you can with whatever is thrown at you. And it can be done, but you have to remain positive in a negative environment. And sometimes it can wear you down, but you shouldn't let it wear you down. I don't know how to tell you, because there are times I keep talking about this. You will feel so happy, and when you hit the door or the unit that you're going to work on, a sense of depression, a sense of sadness come about you. And I did not know there was so much bullying that goes on in nurses. And for the new nurse that's coming on, yeah, they eat their young, in a saying, but it happened not only to the young, it happened to every new nurse that is new to the facility. So the only way to get out of it is not become a nurse. But it is a good career. I'm telling you what you will encounter, your expectation. I would say go in with the mindset that you want to make a difference. And you want to change the environment by who you are, what you do, and your character says a lot. Be nice, be kind to everyone you meet. Continue to care. Don't let them burn that fire. You know the reason why you wanted to become a nurse. You know that. And for some of us, if you put the label, it's all about the money. That money wears thin, that money causes you to be depressed. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I would say to new grads, to new nurses that thinks that angry nurse, that nurse that threatens you a lot, that bullies, that nurse, look beyond her anger, look beyond her pain and distress, and see that there's a person in there that may be out of the environment that she's working in. She's trying to be a super nurse and it causing her distress. She's trying to take on issues at home, dealing with it and bringing it to job. And so be mindful of that, be forgiven, and just move on. Don't let it cling to you, because if you become angry, if you become bitter, you disdain that nurse, then you are carrying on the same feeling and you will continue being that type of nurse that you don't want to become. And that's what I want you to understand. There is hope and you can make a difference. Thank you for your support. I would like to leave you with this poem, short poem. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Henry Ford. Thank you. Have a pleasant day.